Good morning, friends, and welcome back to our another Thanksgiving video. In this one, I am going to be sharing with you 3 salads that are just a great addition to the normal sides that most of us have with Thanksgiving dinner. So there are 3 women that have been very influential in my life: my grandmother, my mom, and then my mother-in-law. Each one of these salads is a recipe from them, so I wanted to share that with you all. And then it's just one of those things that I can continue to pass down from generation to generation for the family to enjoy. We have a lot of recipes in our family, especially at Christmas time, which I know this is a Thanksgiving video, but at Christmas time we have things that have been passed down from my great-grandmother, and those things are very special to me, so I can't wait to share those with you guys in future videos. But for this one, let's get cooking and let me show you the salads that we have. Okay, so for the first one, we're going to start with the easiest one, and this is an old-fashioned salad. It is just a can of fruit cocktail, which I have right here. This is, usually I would do more. This is a larger can, but our store actually had only 1 can and that was it. I don't know why they were out, but they were. So we're just gonna make a smaller salad, but I have been draining this and then letting it rest in the bowl. I just dropped out the liquid that was in here. There's a little bit more. You want to let this drain for a little while just because there is a lot of juice from the filling. And then to that, you can do this a couple different ways. You can use Cool Whip or a store brand version of Cool Whip, or you can do fresh whipped cream. I'm gonna go ahead and just use the Cool Whip version today just because I had this in my freezer and I need to use it up. And so we're gonna go ahead and do that. Let me grab a spoon. Okay, so I've got my spoon. I'm just gonna go ahead and take about 2/3 of the container for now. Again, normally this is a larger recipe, but we're gonna start with that and see how it goes. And then you just need mini marshmallows. You can do the plain. Now, an ambrosia salad has the colored mini marshmallows, coconut, pineapple. This is very similar in the sense of the base of it. And so with the marshmallows and the cream. So then we're just going to mix it up. I mean, this, I'm sure a lot of you have seen this. If you guys are around my age, you probably grew up with your mom or your grandmother making it. And you can also add in walnuts to it. My grandmother used to do that. I am going to leave those out for now just because our other salad is going to have walnuts in it, so I don't want to overwhelm everybody. And so we're just going to do this one just with the marshmallows, the fruit cocktail, and then the Cool Whip. And then that's it. Super simple, easy to put together. And then we're done. We're gonna go ahead and cover this up and then put it in the fridge and then serve it tonight. We have friends coming over that we're gonna do a little Friendsgiving, and we're gonna be using a lot of what you're gonna see in this video, the next video that's coming after this, and the one before, which is on desserts. And if you haven't seen that one yet, I'll link it down below. So this one's done, and now we're gonna go ahead and start on the second. Okay, so now we're on to the second salad, which is a broccoli salad. I've done this before in one of my other videos, but this is one of my all-time favorites. This one comes from my mother-in-law, and she made it earlier this year when we were up to visit. And I just loved it. I kept snacking on it. She had left it on the counter. We were waiting for everyone to arrive to do a family visit, and I kept sneaking into it and eating it. It was that good. So to my bowl, I'm doubling the dressing recipe because I have a large bag of broccoli. So it's going to be 2 cups of mayonnaise, and then to that we're going to add in 1/2 cup of sugar. And you're gonna just wanna use granulated sugar for it. There we go. So, and then it's gonna have 4 tablespoons of vinegar. Okay, so it's got 4 tablespoons of vinegar. I had to go grab it. I'm trying to make this video a lot shorter than the last one and also easier. I have 2 to film today, and we have our Friendsgiving this evening. So I'm trying to get it all done in one day. So try to make this as easy as possible. So 4 tablespoons of vinegar. Sorry, I just want to double check. You are going to add salt and pepper to taste. But if I had to say, I would say a teaspoon of each would be sufficient. I'm just going to eyeball it. And you can always taste it. You're gonna wanna make this first and dress the salad right before you serve it. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to get this all mixed up, and then we'll put this in a container, and then we'll assemble the salad, except for the dressing. We'll dress that right before our company arrives tonight. What it does is, by doing that this early, the dressing, it allows the sugar time to break down, because if you tried it right now, it'd be very grainy. It would not taste very good, just because the vinegar will help that sugar break down and dissolve into the dressing. So do know that if you try it now to test the salt and pepper, it's going to be gritty. Don't fret, it will dissolve. So, but you want to try to make this several hours to a day in advance, just so it has time. And that's it. Super easy to mix together. So we're going to set this aside, and then assemble the salad base. Now I am going to do this in 2 containers, only because our daughter can't eat dairy and she loves this salad as well. So I'm going to take some of the broccoli out for her, and then the rest will be for us. Now this salad has, I just bought the pre-cut broccoli. I have a really large bag. As you can see, this is 2 pounds of broccoli. The reason I got this is it was on sale at Publix. You can absolutely buy your broccoli. Let's do this. Let's stuff it in here. Buy heads of broccoli and then cut it yourself, or you can take the easy route like I did and buy the pre-cut. It is a little bit more expensive, but again, this big bag was on sale, and so that's why I did it. All right, so one thing I will say is just check your broccoli. Make sure you pull out. Sometimes you'll get little pieces, just pull it out. You also may get gigantic pieces of broccoli. You can take a little bit of time if you'd like, and like I'm gonna do real quick, and cut them down to more manageable bite-sized pieces. Again, I'm still wind up cutting it a little bit, but it's still a lot faster right now than doing a whole head of broccoli. All right, so this is gonna be for our daughter who can't do dairy. She has her own dairy-free cheese that she'll add to it. So what I'm gonna do is add just a couple of tomatoes, which I chopped up. I have 2 Roma tomatoes chopped up, and then I have half a red onion. I don't feel like you need anything more, even in a big salad, than a half a red onion. I feel like it could be too much. We'll drop that in there. And we're also going to drop in some bacon for her, which I already had cooked this morning, and then just did a really rough chop on it. And then that's it for now. Actually, let me grab her cheese. This is the cheese that she uses. I don't know if it's pronounced Daya. I'm not really 100% sure, but this is the one that she's found that she likes. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to dump the rest of this bag, because she has more in the fridge, in there. And then that is it for assembling until that dressing has time to come together. And so I'm going to put a lid on this, and then hers is done. And so it's a really quick, easy salad to put together, and again, so super flavorful. So it looks like, and I've never had this happen before with bagged broccoli where we've had so many big pieces, so I'm just going to take a little bit of time to kind of cut out, trim down a little bit the broccoli. So now this one, because one of our friends that is coming tonight is a vegetarian, and so what I will be doing for this larger salad is leaving the bacon on the side, so that way she can enjoy the salad with obviously not having to worry about the bacon being in there. And then for everybody else, they can just top the bacon on their salad, and it won't matter. Actually, I prefer it that way. I don't typically like to put the bacon in and then dress it and let it sit for a while, because the bacon can get soggy, and I prefer in salads that my bacon is crispy. All right, I think looks like most of the rest is smaller. There's just a couple more pieces that should be trimmed down just a touch. Okay, that looks like that's good. I feel like those are just definitely better in the bite-size department than what they were. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put it all back in here. And again, I'm gonna assemble everything except for the dressing, and then I will be showing you guys later as I assemble it. I will make sure that that gets recorded, and then I will record the setup before our friends arrive so you can see everything. We will be enjoying everything from the various videos that you have either seen or will be seeing as part of our Friendsgiving for this year. And then I have cheese. I have probably about 1.5 cups to 2 cups of cheese. It's up to you how much. I like to have extra cheese in it. It's just a personal preference, but you know, 1.5 to 2 cups shredded cheese is good. So all we're gonna do is leave it like this, because eventually we're gonna get a big bowl. We'll toss it all together and have it in our serving bowl. So I am gonna put a lid on this. And then this salad is ready until it comes to time tonight to dress it and then serve it. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to the third salad, and this is gonna be a apple walnut salad. And the part that comes from my mom is the walnut vinaigrette. She came up with or found this recipe or something a long time ago, and when she made it, I think it was for a Christmas dinner actually, and I fell in love with it. So I love to use this dressing in a variety of different ways on different types of salad, but for this time, because it is Thanksgiving, we are going to do an apple walnut. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and candy some walnuts. Let's go ahead and measure, that way it's easier for everybody. I'm going to say a cup of walnuts like this, and these are walnut halves, so I'm just going to do just a rough chop on them really quick, just because again they are going to go into the salad, so I do want them to be bite size. If you have walnut pieces, that would work too. Again, I tend to just buy the pecans and the walnuts in their halves. So rough chop like that. Just put it back in our measuring cup, and then we're gonna head over to the stove and we're gonna go ahead and candy these walnuts. All right, so to candy the walnuts, we're gonna turn on our pan and let that start warming up. I'm gonna turn it on high first just to get it warm. But what you're gonna need is butter, and I've got 2 tablespoons of butter, and I'm gonna use 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, a little bit of salt, and just a touch of water, but we'll go through that in a minute. You will want to get, if you have one, a whisk that is silicone or something that won't scratch your pan. So over medium heat, I'm melting 2 tablespoons of butter. I'm just gonna go ahead and get that melted. And then to that, I'm going to add in 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. Gonna go ahead and get that mixed together. And I may add a touch more brown sugar. We'll just have to see what you want. Is there to be enough sugar where it will absorb the butter? And it can take a minute or so for it all to kind of come together. So I don't add it until I've mixed it for at least a minute to make sure it all comes together. And I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. I don't know if you can see the butter is still separate right there. So just keep whisking. And there it goes. Now it starts to kind of comes together, and it should all pull together and almost look like caramel, melted caramel in your pan like that. So to it, I'm gonna go ahead and add in a pinch of salt like that. That way it will dissolve as we're cooking it. And then I'm gonna add in the chopped walnuts. I'm just going to give it all a stir and get those coated. And from here, I'm going to go ahead and grab my spatula to get it all put together. Just a little bit easier with the spatula at this point. Now I'm just going to let these cook for about a minute or two. You just want to make sure it's on a medium to low to medium temperature on your stovetop, because you don't want to burn the walnuts at all. And usually I will add just a touch, just a splash of water like that. And what that'll do is it'll also help that sugar break down just a little bit more, so you don't have any gritty pieces of sugar on your candied walnuts. And this is where we'll let it cook for like a minute or so. And while this is cooking, I'm going to go ahead and just got a small pan with a little bit of foil on it. I'm just going to spray it so it doesn't stick. So we're going to move the walnuts from here to here and let them cool. And we do this first before anything else because you want these completely cooled and candied, because this is going to go in the salad itself. And once these are done, then we'll work on the dressing, and then we'll assemble the salad, but we won't dress it obviously until right before our company comes. Okay, it's been a minute, so I'm going to try to let it go just 1 minute more. We're just going to keep an eye on it and watch it. Alright, so it looks like 2 minutes is good as long as it's on a little bit lower of temperature so you don't burn. But this is what you're going to be looking for when it's all done. And then from here, just turn that off. Just going to drop the walnuts onto the pan. And I'm going to spread them out so they can cool. And then if need be, once they cool and some of them are still stuck together, you can leave them or you can kind of break it up. But this way, if they're spread out a little bit, it will give you, you know, more candied pecans for your salad. And then that's it. That's all we have to do for the candied pecans. So we're going to let these cool, and then we'll move on to the salad dressing. So now for the salad dressing, you are going to do 2 tablespoons of chopped walnuts. And I chopped these up ahead of time. So I'm just going to measure and put them over here. I have a container for my dressing. Just going to measure them. And then we'll just set these aside, and we may add more, but for right now it is just 2 tablespoons of chopped walnuts. And then we're going to take and chop, let's move those all the way over here. Okay, we're going to chop 1 shallot. All right, hold on 1 second. Okay, so we're going to chop 1 shallot. Just do thin slices, because basically you're wanting to mince the shallot. So really thin slices like this, and I try to hold it together if I can. Take them all and then just chop them this way. So I'm going to add my shallots into my container. So from there, we don't need to chop anything else. We are gonna add in a 1/4 cup of balsamic vinegar. Ooh, okay. These onions are a touch strong. Let me wipe some of this off just to make you cry a little bit. Okay, so 1/4 cup of balsamic vinegar. Add it in. Then you're gonna add in 1 cup of Cabernet. Not 1 cup, I apologize. 1/4 cup. Okay, all right, let's try this again. Those shallots have my eyes watering like crazy. So it's gonna be a 1/4 cup of Cabernet. Let me actually pick it up, I can see it. Add that in. And now from here, we're gonna add in a 1/3 cup of walnut oil. So with this dressing, the original recipe calls for refined peanut oil and then walnut oil. I had to order the walnut oil online because nowhere local to us had it. And so there is no substitute for walnut oil. You will have to purchase walnut oil to do this. Now there was, or there is, I should say, an alternative to the peanut oil. While that is preferred in our area, we don't have a lot of specialty stores, so I'm kind of, you know, at the mercy of what I can find in our local store. This is 1/3 cup of walnut oil that's going in here. And so just a quick search, and I found that avocado oil is a good substitute for peanut oil. I'm hoping when we go back to Atlanta for the holidays, I can go to some of the stores up there. Where we live in Florida, there's just not a lot. And for the price, actually, I don't even know if there was any peanut oil available on Amazon. That was the right one that I needed. So we're gonna use the avocado oil as a substitute. And that is actually gonna be 1 cup. And I apologize if you hear me sniffing. I do not have a cold. It is from the shallots. They made my eyes water so bad. All right, that entire bottle is 1 cup. So I'm gonna go ahead and add that in. All right, and next we're gonna add in 1 teaspoon of freshly ground pepper. I am not going to measure, I am just gonna grind. If you don't have freshly ground, that's okay, just use what you've got. And that looks like it could be, it's kind of like pooling together in the middle of the oil, so I can kind of see. We'll say that is 1 teaspoon. Well, I'll taste it and make sure. Now you just add a little bit of, oh, that's my pepper. Salt to taste. So we'll just do a pinch to start. And then same thing with the sugar. The sugar, I'm just gonna do a pinch. We're gonna whisk all this together. And the sugar helps to cut the acidity in the vinegar, so you can taste that as well. All right, and then we're just gonna mix this up. And then we're gonna set this in the fridge. We will assemble the salad now, but we won't dress it until right before the company comes, just so you can see what the salad will look like. Okay, so I'm gonna get a little spoon and taste this. All right. See if we need to add any more salt, pepper, or sugar to it. Nope. Tastes just like I remember it tasting, so that's perfect. Okay, so I will make sure to link the recipe or put the recipe below because I don't know where the original one came from other than from my mom. So we were gonna go ahead and set this aside. This will go in the fridge until it's time to use. And then we're gonna grab our bowl and I've got this serving bowl that I bought spring mix. I find that that's the best one for this type of salad to use. All right, so to my bowl, I'm gonna go ahead and add in my spring mix. And you definitely obviously want to check. You can always wind up getting, you know, a few pieces that aren't as fresh. I always trying to find the furthest date out as possible when buying a spring mix, just to hope that it is all fresh. Like that piece looks just a touch, but not bad. But other than that, the rest of it looks really good. So we've got our spring mix in, and from here, actually, I don't need to move that just yet. I think I saw I dropped a piece. Yep. I'm gonna add in feta cheese. And I usually just use about a half of a 4-ounce container for it, but, well, try not to put any on the floor. I think we're gonna go ahead and just use the entire container because we have company coming tonight, and so we will just use it all up. And then now to this, to this I'm gonna add some sweetened dried cranberries to it. And you can add, I usually just do, for this for sure, I usually just do a half a bag of it. And then we're gonna add in apple as well. So I'm gonna grab my apples so we can get those chopped. But what I'm also gonna do with the apples is toss them in just, ooh, that was really loud, sorry. Toss the apples in a little bit of lemon juice. So let me get some of this cleaned up and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have golden delicious apples for the salad. So I'm gonna start with just one. These are kind of big, so I may only need one. Let me rinse this off. Okay, so we're gonna start with just one apple and just see if we need both of them or not. We're just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna leave the apple skins on. I'm not going to peel it. I'm just gonna cut them into thin slices. And then we're going to chop them because again, I want them into bite-sized pieces so they're easier to eat for our guests. I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of these walnuts in here, and then that way I just don't have just a touch of walnut laying around like that. And then we'll stir those in later. So now we're just going to chop up the apples, and I'm going to put them in a bowl off to the side because I do want to squeeze on some lemon juice to keep them from browning. Now normally I would wait to add the apple until right before company arrives, but I wanted to be able to show you the finished salad in this video. And I obviously will be show you guys the end once it's all set up and you guys can see everything that we're going to enjoy tonight. So I'm just gonna squeeze half a lemon on here, and then just toss the apples and the lemons. Now you could do thin apple slices, super thin, but I just find that this is so much better when it's all chopped. It just makes for an easier salad for people. All right, so to this, I'm just gonna pour on my apples. And then we're gonna get the walnuts. All right, and so they've cooled down, and you can see they're still a little, like they're candied, so they're a little sticky. That's what I'm looking for. And we're just gonna drop those on top. And those will just be, we're going to toss the salad together. And then, like I said, we will dress it right before it's time to eat. All right, and then I'm just going to toss it all together just to kind of get everything mixed in. And then that way, for every, spoonful or tongueful, if you will, people will be able to get a little bit of everything. So there is the apple walnut salad, and we will eventually top it with the walnut dressing, which I'll show you guys in a little bit. So I'm going to get this cleaned up. Got some errands to run, and then I will be working on the video for appetizers for you guys, because we're going to be, with our company arriving soon, I decided to go ahead and dress the broccoli salad to go ahead and give it some time for the dressing to cling to the salad and really infuse with flavor. I quickly discovered that my serving dish was not going to be large enough for me to adequately cover the broccoli salad without making a tremendous mess. And so the dressing makes a pint of dressing plus almost a half pint. The half pint container I left in the refrigerator for our daughter's salad, and I am going to use this entire pint of the dressing for this salad. I feel like it really needs this. Now this is, even though mayonnaise based, is not a heavy mayonnaise based dressing. It's actually quite light. You do want to try to toss it about 30 minutes before serving, just so it has time to sit there, coat, and all the flavors marry together. So we're going to go ahead and just finish up and get this broccoli salad done. Now that our broccoli salad is done, I'm just going to go ahead and take our fruit salad that's been in the fridge since this morning and just put it into a serving dish. At this point, if you would like to top it with chopped nuts, you absolutely can. I still opted to not put the walnuts on top, just because there is a walnut dressing salad with candied walnuts, and so I didn't want it to be too much walnut here, walnut there. So just go ahead and put it in the serving dish, and then it is set and ready to go. All right, fruit salad is done and our company has arrived, so I am now going to go ahead and get the dressing onto the salad. You will see as it sits in the fridge, the oil and will separate, so you just want to give it a good whisk right before serving, before you pour it on. This salad dressing makes more than enough for this one salad. I don't use it all. In fact, you could probably get several salads, or if you're having a large family over, you could then maybe use a bit more, but it really, a little bit goes a long way. And so now I'm just tossing it and getting it ready for us to eat. Okay, now that the salad has been dressed, you're going to see our spread that we had for our Friendsgiving. Now, the appetizers video, you will see that will be up shortly after this one is posted, and we'll go into that more. But you can see the fruit salad that we had. That was a huge hit. Everyone loved it. Everyone loved everything. It was really, really good. It was great. Sometimes to just kind of do a smorgasbord of foods is great. There's the bacon, the broccoli salad, and then of course the apple walnut salad, which was a huge hit, nothing left, and we ended with the pumpkin bars. And I just want to say thank you guys for joining me today as I did this quick video on a couple of different salads that would be good for your Thanksgiving Day dinner, or honestly any time of the year. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you haven't already, please like and give me a thumbs up on the video. And if you've got any favorite salads or side dishes that you like for your family, just put them in comment down below so that way we can share them with everybody. Thank you guys so much. Bye.